I want to film this video because so many people have asked me about this, and if you follow me on Snapchat, then you know I was scammed.
If you know how I feel, why would you say that? Like, you put me in such a
I know, freaking ridiculous. This story kills me, and I'm still fired up about it, so that is exactly why I'm filming this video right now, because there's no better time to tell a story than in the midst of it, and while you're still firing angry over it. To start this story off, I worked in retail. You know this if you're subscribed to my channel, then you would know that I worked in retail. Link down below of the I got robbed video if you want to check that out. And I hated my life all the time, so I was looking for a new job. So I went online and I was like, jobs near me, and nannying came up, and I was like, why didn't I think of that before? So I logged onto a site. I'm not gonna like name the site because this could happen on any site, which I know from experience now. I like applied for different jobs, and this one family messages me and was like,
hey, I want to hire you, but my membership on this site is gonna end soon, so I need you to email me instead.
First, a red flag. If they're trying to take you off a site that is safe and secure and go through their email or phone number, don't do it. You will be very sorry that you did. So I was like, okay. I get this guy's email. So this guy named Nicholas. I'm gonna use names because, you know what, I'm like sure that their name was, this is not a real name. Like, I'm pretty sure it's not. Nicholas Monroe. So this person messages me through the site asking to email him. This is the bottom part. He goes,
honestly, I was signed on to the website. I paid for a month trial, and after I received a notice message saying my membership will expire soon. So please reply to my email address, blah blah blah, for more info.
Okay, so I email Nicholas, and I'm like, all professional, you know. Hello, Nicholas. I would love to take this opportunity to become your part-time nanny. I would be able to come to your home to take care of Mike and Silva. Probably doesn't even have kids. So there would be no need to worry about bringing them to me. He tells me all this stuff and like details right off the bat, like gives me his address. Literally, when I looked back on this, I'm like, I was so dumb. What happened is, like, I saw the amount that he wanted to pay me, and I was like, I can quit right now, this is gonna be great. So he, like, messages me, like, all this stuff. And so, in the first email, or message, he asked me for, like, my full name, my address, where my like current occupation is, and like your references. And my smart self gave him all of that information. So if they're asking for your references, then they should contact them, and they did not contact my references. So he like messaged me again, and he starts telling me about like a package that's gonna come. And at first I was confused, but then I was like, oh, he's sending me a check in advance.
Sending me a check in advance. Sending me a check in advance.
That is the biggest, fattest, giantest, largest, grandest red flag you could see ever on this kind of stuff. If they're going to send you a check in advance, it's going to be a fake check. So don't deposit it, but we'll get to that fun part next. Then, he emails me again.
As soon as you receive the payment, go ahead and have it deposited into your bank. It will be cleared within 24 to 48 hours.
Wrong. checks don't get deposited that quick. It normally takes like 5 days. Okay, so at this point, I started to catch on like a little bit. I was like a little bit leery of that because I was like, checks don't go through that quick. So I was like, I'm gonna be careful, but I just was not careful enough. So,
Please follow the instruction accordingly. I like to also let you know that the check sent includes your first week payment plus groceries and other things needed in my apartment.
So in my head, like I was like, it will be the payment, which was like already a good amount for this job, and then a large amount for groceries because they're moving from Ohio. Another big fat freaking red flag.
I will get in touch with the rest of the shopping list and materials needed for my kids.
So he was gonna like send it to me in a separate email, I guess.
I do appreciate and hope for a memorable event with my kids. They can't wait to have you around them. I'll wait to read from you as soon as you have the check deposited today.
Then I receive this mysterious like check. This is honestly so embarrassing because this check is the fakest check I've ever seen in my whole entire life. This guy says that he's moving from Ohio. I open this check. I am broke, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to live my life. I'm just trying to like get by. I don't have very much money in my bank account at the moment because I'm just struggling. So when I saw the number on this check, I was like, that's kind of a lot of money. Like, all right. And like I did some calculations in my head and I was like, this amount for what I'm gonna get paid plus the amount of groceries doesn't add up to this like amount that's on the check. So first of all, okay, this is the check. It's so fake that it hurts me to look at it. I actually keep it on a bulletin board in my room so I can like be reminded of like that I need to pay attention to things. The check, as you can see, says Dude Solutions, which like, first of all, what company's name?
Dude Solutions.
Like, that alone is just like stupid. And then, so, you know, he's moving from Ohio, right? Dude Solutions is apparently in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And this check is coming from Santa Clara, California. So, that doesn't add up at all whatsoever. And I didn't look at that because I saw that number that's, you know, bigger than what has ever been in my bank account, ever. And was like, that's kind of fun. Poor judgment call on my part. So I deposit the check, not paying attention to anything ever. Texts me, and he's like,
you should have gotten the check, go ahead and deposit it so that it goes through, like, then, like, we need you to start and you'll have money for groceries, blah, blah, blah.
He emails me. He goes,
I'll email you a list of the groceries that you're going to need to get.
So I'm like, okay, maybe this large amount of money is for, like, they need everything. He says,
below is the list of groceries. Actually, it was supposed to be more than that. I even wanted you to get some supplies as well. But I just got some infos from my realtor explaining that she needed some materials to complete the renovation of my apartment. And also, you need the keys and description of my apartment so that when you purchase the groceries, you can keep them there. I want you to spend $300 on groceries for now. Deduct your fee, which is $350, and please get those items at any store near you.
This is where I was like, oh heck no, sir, like, we're done. He goes,
I also want you to take out $900 and send this amount, $885, to my realtor so that you get the keys. You can send it using your bank card at any Walmart location in your area via Walmart to Walmart money transfer medium. The charges will be $10 for sending the money in minutes. You'll also be given a receipt after sending the money, and I hope you will be able to do this efficiently today.
Which is like, this is not even 24 hours after I've deposited the check, so like...
And will as well email you details of our revel once we settle the fees.
First of all, you don't ask an 18-year-old to send money to a realtor. If you wanted to send that money, you could have done that yourself. Like, why didn't you just write 2 separate checks? That makes zero sense whatsoever and is very unlogical and dumb. If you have this amount of money to give to me, you're doing pretty good. Let me just say that. You're not struggling. You know what I mean? And if you're doing pretty good, then you're like not gonna ask an 18-year-old to like send money through Walmart. It had been too late at this point. Like, I'd already deposited the check into my account. Like, that was already a thing that happened. I messaged him and I was like, I hope you have a great time finding a new nanny. And I blocked him. What he wanted me to do was send him money that was like my money before the check deposited into my account. So I didn't send him any money. I was like, yeet. The next day, I called my bank and I was like,
let me tell you, I got scammed.
and the lady was like,
I'm so sorry, we're gonna help you out. And I was like, great, thank you so much. And she was like, yeah, I gotta put in a claim on it, use your claim number.
and I was like,
Is there anything else I need to do on my end?
and she goes,
No.
first of all, she flippin' lied to me. I call back and I'm like, hey, like, SOS, like, what do I need to do? And they're like, oh, like, that's weird because, like,
Your account's being closed.
mind you, this is without my knowledge. Like, they didn't tell me they were closing my account. They just, like, decided to close it due to SunTrust rules and regulations, which if I ever hear that again in my life, I'm gonna have to chop off my head. They're like, yeah, so, like, your account is, like, under investigation. Somebody scammed me, and I am the victim of a crime. So why am I the one that is being, like, punished for something that I didn't do? Also, like, you have hold on my money. Like, I already don't have a lot of money, and you're just holding the little amount of money that I have. So that's a problem. Okay, so this video is getting, like, really long, so I'm just gonna sum up this end part. Basically, I went through, like, a crap ton of different people on the phone who, like, just continued to lie to me about things that were going to happen and people that were gonna call me back, and then they didn't. And then when they told me to call them on Friday, I called and they were like, yeah, you need to call on Monday. And it was just, like, a big line of crap that I've been dealing with for more than 2 weeks. So it just, like, got really old and frustrating, and, like, everybody was telling me something different, and I still didn't have access to my money at all. So I can't use my card. I still can't use my card. So oh my god. Yeah, that was pretty much the mood throughout this whole experience. Moral of this whole story is that if you're getting a new job online, one, be careful. That was the only point to that, so I don't really know why I started counting. If you are in a situation where you might be scammed, think, oh my gosh, Emily was really dumb one time. Yes, it was just the one time. I should do the opposite of that so that I don't get scammed. And I'll be like, you're so welcome for, like, going through the worst so that you don't have to. So okay, so before I end this video really quickly, situation is not completely solved, but I did finally talk to somebody that's going to try and, like, reverse my account being closed, and that should be fixed by tomorrow. So fingers crossed that that happens, and that is basically where I'm at. I don't want to, like, end this video and not tell you, like, what actually happened, but yeah, that's basically it. That is going to be the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Some fun stuff is actually coming up, so I'll have more to vlog about, but this week has been extremely terrible because I'm broke and don't have a job. So if you want to hear more from me and you want to see more of what's going on in my life, then you can subscribe down below and hit that little bell because it'll help me. And if you want to see more of me, more than just on this channel, which is, like, a whole lot of me, and, like, props to you if you really want to do that to yourself, then you can follow me on all my social medias, which will be down in the description below. And thank you for watching, and I will see you next Wednesday with another new video. Bye. I just had a discussion with somebody about how, like, I was like, how am I easy to roast? But like all of this right here is just like